Royal Air Force Aerobatic team, it's the Red Arrows. As I said, the team arriving in our world famous Diamond 9, trailing our world famous red, white and blue, and as they pull up you can see that top form shape of our Diamond 9. As Reds 8 and 9 move to the left and right respectively to form 9 Arrow, reaching a height of over 5,500 feet. The aircraft starts to slow to approximately 120 miles an hour over the top and now increases to 200, 300, back to 400 miles per hour as Red 1 brings them around to the left. Leading the team this year, a new team leader for 2024. He's been in the team before, everybody knows him. It's squad leader John Bond, known as Bondy. Bondy was in the team 5 years before he took 1 year out. He's been previously 2, 6, 7, and he came back in 2024 as Red 4. He's a former Typhoon pilot and also a former qualified flying instructor on the Tucano. In from the left, in Big Vixen, the smoke comes on. On the immediate right hand side of Red 1 is Red 2. That is squad leader Chris McCann, known as Creamy. He is called Creamy because he was creamed off after training to be a qualified flying instructor on the Tucano, after which he joined the world famous 617 Dambuster Squadron on the Tornado GR4. Creamy received the Air Force Cross while on operations for Iraq and Syria. Those of you that saw the news a week ago yesterday, unfortunately the Royal Air Force, the aviation and display community, and more importantly a family, lost a very valued member, a very valued colleague and dear friend to many of us around the community. In tribute of squad leader Mark Long, this is Spitfire. On the left of Red 1 is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Justin Wales, known as Dusty. Dusty's in his first year on the team, originally from Zimbabwe. He's a former Typhoon pilot, he flew with 11 Squadron. He was an instructor on 29 Squadron before joining the Test and Evaluation Squadron, that's 41 Squadron, at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire. Reds 4 and 5 now smoke on either side of the stem, start to make their way rearwards. In November of 2023, it was the 30th anniversary of the final flight of one of the most famous and iconic aircraft in aviation history. As the team roll out, there is no mistaking the shape of the wonderful and majestic Concorde. Once again, the team pull up for over 400 miles per hour, showing the expertise of the pilots flying Concorde in a loop. Obviously, to make this even more difficult, you'll now see Reds 8 and 9 split left and right, changing the shape while in formation and doing the loop into signaling. Once again, the aircraft reaching the height of over 5,500 feet, slowed to 120 miles per hour, which means that the formation keeping by the pilots is a lot more difficult, with the controls being a lot less responsive. Pilots in the Red Arrows. You have 1 to 9 performing in front of you today. There's myself, Red 10, former Tornado GR4 pilot, and qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T Mark II. And of course, we are a military unit, so we are commanded by Officer Commanding RAFAT, that's Wing Commander Adam Collins, former Red 10, former Tornado GR4 pilot, and he also flew the F-111 while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force. You can see now the wings of the Cygnet flexing forward, red 6 and 7 splitting as they come around to left. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready for the colourful Phoenix. In the middle of the right-hand side, you have Red Hall. That's right, Lieutenant Ollie Suckling. Ollie's in his second year on the team. He was Red 4 last year. He remained in that position and took up the role of a role we like to call Uncle Enid, which means he is the mentor for the new pilots as they join the team and help them guide through the winter training period. Ollie is also a former Tornado GR4 pilot and a qualified flying instructor on the Hawk Team Mark II. And he also flew the Strike Master display from based in North Wales during his spare time before he joined the Red Arrows. You now see 8 and 9 move themselves backwards and they formed up two distinctive rows as Red 1 brings them around to the right. Once again, get your cameras ready for the chevron roll. On the front row, all the way to the left side is Red 5. That's right there, George Hobday. Once again, in his first year on the team, he's a former Typhoon pilot who used to fly with 11 Squadron based at RAF Coventry in Lincolnshire, and he has taken part in operations on Iraq and Syria, as well as the Eastern Europe Baltic Air Policing mission. All the pilots must be above average in the air, have approximately 1,500 hours before they can join the team. They go through a rigorous selection process where we whittle them down to approximately 9 individuals, who then come out and spend a week with us in our spring training exercise, and we take that 9 down to the final 3 or 2, and they will join the team in approximately September to join for next year's season. You now see Reds 8 and 9 dropping trail on the rest of the formation as Red 1 continues to bring them round to the left. It's one of the most popular, if not the most popular manoeuvre we fly. We've kept it for 2024. From the left, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tornado! The board call is made by Red 9 as Red 8 and 9 roll around the rest of the formation. Red 8 smoking red and Red 9 smoking blue. Watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings them down the line. In that particular movie, you may be able to see the air brakes on the aircraft. They are out. That is a small door at the back of the aircraft underneath the belly. As we come to the end of the first half, you'll now see a manoeuvre not brought in for nearly 20 years to start the second half. This is the 5-4 split. In the second half, you'll see the more dynamic, high-speed, heart-pumping, jaw-dropping manoeuvres, where we split into 2 distinct sections. Going off to the right, you've got Reds 1 through 5, named as Enid, named after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And off to the left, 6, 7, 8, 9, now known as Hannah, named after squadron leader Ray Hannah. One of the first members of the Red Arrows, the only team leader to lead the team for 4 years. He took the team from a 7 to a 9 and formed our world famous Diamond 9. Enid from the right, Hannah from the left. This is the 5-4 pass. Your eye on Enid to the left-hand side. The Red Arrows were formed in 1964 with our first display in 1965. The Red Arrows were formed from 3 teams, the Red Pelicans, the Black Arrows and the Yellow Jacks. We took the red from the Red Pelicans, the arrows from the Black Arrows, which gave us our name, and we took the aircraft from the Yellow Jacks. And in tribute to that aircraft, in from the right, is Enid in Nat.
Take off, go. Take off, go.
Red Arrows flew the Nats right the way up until 1980, when we then took over flying the Hawk, which is what the aircraft we are flying today. Your camera's ready. This is Hannah. Break.
Hannah, flight.
We have red 6 and 9 off to our right hand side. Red 6 leads Hannah, he also leads the synchro pair. He is the synchro leader, it is Flight Lieutenant Stuart Roberts. Stu is in his third and final year, he was 7 last year, he was red 2 in his first year. He's a former Typhoon pilot, having flown with 11 and 12 squadrons at RAF Coningsby. Each pair will now dive down to approximately 200 to 300 feet above the airfield. They'll have a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour in the Hannah Pass.
Back out.
Reds 8 and 9 in Cyclone. Each aircraft now pulling up to 5G, once again turning hard to each other as they complete their first part of their second half in slingshot. Coming in from the left, accelerating as he descends down is Red 9, Flight Lieutenant Patrick Kershaw, known as Paddy. He turns hard to the left, lines up with Enid in the distance for the Goose. Paddy in his third and final year, former Tornado G-Off and Typhoon pilot. Get your cameras ready, the smoke comes on as the synchro part for the world famous Heart. This message is for a Chris Hanrahan. Amy Higgins would like to ask you a very special question. And coming in from the right is Red 8, that's Flight Lieutenant Rich Walker. He's a former Harrier pilot, former Typhoon pilot, and also former qualified flying instructor of the manoeuvre called the Opposition Barrel Roll. Once again, pulling off at over 400 miles per hour. Red 1 rolls the formation to the right. Get your cameras ready for the Vixen vertical break. Pull, go, it's a call from Red 6. Each aircraft now pull hard up. Pulling 5 to 6G, that means everything about them is weighing 5 to 6 times heavier than what you and I are as we stand on the airfield. They'll reach a height of over 2,500 to 3,000 feet. They're inverted 60 degrees, nose down, roll the correct way up to finish the manoeuvre called Boomerang. flying with the red, white and blue on. They perform a barrel roll in the sky, leaving a colourful snake-like smoke trail in the sky, trailing our famous red, white and blue. Those colours and that smoke is capable due to the smoke clouds on the bottom of the aeroplane. That holds approximately 5 minutes of white smoke, 1 minute of blue smoke and 1 minute of red smoke, and it's selectable from buttons on the pilot's control column. The aircraft now starts to level out and flatten out as 2, 3, 4 and 5 make their way forward and form up into tango. A very hard formation for those pilots to fly. They're now looking directly 90 degrees along their shoulder line at red 1 as the smoke comes on to complete the serpent. Therefore pushing quite a lot of negative G, which means all the blood is rushing to his head, while red 6, 7, 8 and 9 hold on in the mirror roll. Extremely hard manoeuvre for red 6 to fly, as I said, inverted for no more than 30 seconds, pushing against that negative G. 2, 3 roll goes, 2, 3 roll to the outside. Clear go as reds 4 and 5 roll to the outside in one of the hardest manoeuvres for our new pilots each year to master. This is rollback. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the anniversary break! Ready for the victim break. But Midlands Air Festival, it's been an honour and a pleasure. Please put your hands together